From the moment Teoscar Hernandez first picked up a baseball in the Dominican Republic, there was something unmistakably magnetic about him. A spark in the way he played, a natural looseness in his movements, and a joy that radiated every time he stepped onto a field. He wasn't just another kid in Cochui with a love for baseball. He was a child who lived inside the game, who studied its rhythms, who felt its heartbeat as if it were intertwined with his own. Baseball wasn't just a pastime for Teoscar. It was a language, a sense of direction, a place where he felt most himself. Growing up surrounded by a close-knit, supportive family that believed in his potential long before any scout ever spoke his name, he learned early what discipline meant, what sacrifice felt like, and what it took to turn a dream into a destiny. His parents' constant encouragement, their lessons about humility and gratitude, and their faith in his abilities shaped him into not only a remarkable athlete, but a grounded and generous human being. They were the foundation beneath every success he would one day achieve. As a boy, Teoscar possessed a kind of raw physical talent that made him stand out, but it was his mind that set him apart even more. He had a natural gift for observing the game, absorbing details, analyzing patterns, understanding timing. He paid attention to players older than him, studying their mechanics, their footwork, their approaches at the plate. That determination to learn, to evolve, to grow through curiosity became one of the defining qualities that followed him throughout his career. Though his athleticism was undeniable, the speed, the arm strength, the explosive potential in his bat, Teoscar understood that raw ability meant little without refinement, without dedication, without the willingness to push himself through uncomfortable stretches of growth. It was that maturity, even from an early age, that began to shape the player the baseball world would later come to admire. When he entered the Houston Astros organization as a young international prospect, Teoscar stepped into a world of competition that could swallow players whole. The minor leagues aren't glamorous. They test mental toughness as much as physical ability. Long nights on the road, unpredictable roles, constant pressure. It is a grind designed to separate those who want to play baseball from those who truly must play baseball. Teoscar belonged to the latter category. With each passing season, he climbed the Astros development ladder not because he was physically gifted, though he was, but because he adapted. He learned. He listened. He put in the quiet hours, the cage sessions, the extra fielding reps, the work that few fans ever see but that transforms raw prospects into professionals. His coaches saw it. His teammates saw it. That resilience, that willingness to chase improvement every single day, turned him into a player impossible to overlook. When he finally reached the majors with Houston, flashes of brilliance appeared immediately. Moments where his swing launched baseballs into upper decks or where his speed turned ordinary plays into highlights. But like many young players, he was still figuring things out. Inconsistency challenged him, and the pressure to perform on a contending team added weight to his early seasons. Yet in every moment of uncertainty, Teoscar carried the lessons of his upbringing with him: humility, gratitude, and the understanding that growth takes time. When the Astros traded him to the Toronto Blue Jays, it wasn't the end of his story. It was the beginning of a chapter that would redefine his career. Toronto didn't just give Teoscar an opportunity, they gave him trust. They believed in his upside, in the power inside his swing, in the potential they knew they could unlock. Surrounded by a young, emerging core, Teoscar flourished. He refined his approach, learned to control the strike zone, and transformed his natural power into one of the most dangerous offensive weapons in the American League. Where once he was streaky, now he became consistent. Where once he was a question mark, now he was an anchor in the heart of a lineup. His bat delivered with authority. Home runs that left stadiums buzzing. Line drives that rocketed off his bat with a sound unmistakably his own. He became an all-star, a Silver Slugger, and one of the most respected teammates in the clubhouse. And through that rise, through the accolades, through the moments where the baseball world finally recognized him as a star, Teoscar never lost the joy that defined him from the beginning. He played with a smile that rarely left his face, a reminder that even at the highest level, even under the brightest lights, he still loved the game the way he loved it as a child in Cochui. That joy became contagious in every locker room he entered. His teammates gravitated toward him. Younger players leaned on him for guidance. His presence lifted morale long before his numbers lifted scoreboards. He was more than a slugger. He was a source of life, of energy, of levity in a sport often weighed down by pressure and expectations. Family remained his anchor. Becoming a father deepened his purpose and reshaped his perspective. He has spoken often of how much his children motivate him, how every time he steps onto the field, he carries them with him, determined to show them what passion and dedication look like. His parents, siblings, his partner, they remain a constant source of either inspiration or grounding, the steady heartbeat behind the intensity of his career. No matter the city he played in, no matter the stadium he called home, he always carried the pride of his Dominican heritage with him, honoring the people and the culture that gave him his identity. In every home run trot, in every post-game interview, in every moment of excitement, that pride glowed as brightly as his smile. As his career continued through Seattle and into other opportunities, Teoscar's reputation as a complete, reliable player only strengthened. He was no longer the teenager trying to find his footing in the minor leagues. He was a veteran who understood how to prepare, how to adjust, how to contribute beyond the box score. He worked relentlessly on his defense, developing into a dependable outfielder capable of making big plays, showing the baseball world that improvement is never out of reach for those who commit to earning it. His arm became an asset. His reads improved. His routes sharpened. He crafted himself into a player whose all-around impact could be felt every night. Teoscar's journey sometimes goes underappreciated because it wasn't always smooth. But his value lies in the very nature of that journey, the resilience it demanded, the growth it required, the character it revealed. He is a reminder that greatness isn't always immediate. Sometimes it's carved slowly, through uncertainty, adjustments, and moments where belief matters more than results. His teammates respect him not only for his performances, but for his humanity, the kindness he shows, the laughter he brings, the leadership he offers not through shouting, but through example. Coaches appreciate his professionalism. Fans adore his charisma, his energy, and the excitement he brings every time he steps into the batter's box. Even now, with years of baseball behind him, Teoscar Hernandez remains one of the game's most compelling players, not because he demands attention, but because he earns it. He plays with the kind of authenticity that makes fans feel connected to him, that makes every at-bat feel important, that makes every home run feel like an extension of the story he's been writing since the day he first swung a bat in his hometown. His legacy continues to unfold with each season, shaped by heart, responsibility, and the unwavering love of a game that has carried him across countries, across leagues, and across moments that changed him forever. And as we look at who he has become, the father, the teammate, the veteran, the leader, the spark, we see a man who never forgot where he came from, who never lost sight of the people who lifted him, and who never stopped playing with the joy that made him fall in love with baseball in the first place. His story is proof that purpose, discipline, character, and passion are just as important as talent. And it is a story that continues to inspire younger athletes throughout the Dominican Republic and beyond, showing them that dreams don't require perfect circumstances, only courage, work, and the belief that growth is always possible. Thank you for spending time with this tribute to the remarkable journey, heart, and continuing rise of Teoscar Hernandez. If you enjoyed this deep, reflective exploration of his story and want more long-form tributes that honor athletes who shape the game through their spirit, dedication, and authenticity, stay connected, share your support, and return for more stories. Your presence truly means everything.